So, as you know, Mortal Kombat 2 has officially wrapped production this month. And I feel like it was much needed because I feel like after last year's debacle of the SAG strike and the whole controversy surrounding the whole situation, and why I was completely against it the entire time, but thankfully they got everything they wanted. Money for writing, directing, basically everything in general. But we're talking about Mortal Kombat 2. While everything had to be postponed because of the strike, but thankfully everything has come to an end. I've been covering some teases and images of what this and that looked like from Todd Garner himself, me and Future Boy Who and Dynasty. All of us have been covering what's what in production in Queensland, Australia. So this is just really good because as a Mortal Kombat fan, I'm just glad that everything is over. So we're not going to waste any more time. Let's get into the article. After a raft of teasers dropped by producer Todd Garner over the last few weeks, which signals that production on Mortal Kombat 2 was approaching its conclusion, a social media post has now revealed that principal photography on the early awaited sequel has officially wrapped. After Louis Tan post on Instagram from the wrap party of the shoot, which is highly exciting news as it means the movie is one step closer to reaching theaters and bringing us some more bone-crushing action. It's evidently been a very quick and productive shoot for the sequel, which began filming in earnest in November 2023, following like almost all of Hollywood mass delays as a direct. It's evidently been a very quick and productive shoot for the sequel, which began filming in earnest in November 2023, following like almost all of Hollywood massive delays as a direct consequences of the SAG strike. Director Simon McQuaid returned to direct the film alongside Moon Knight writer Jeremy Slater. The original film did prove to be something of a disappointment, but the addition to the boy star Karl Urban, also a standout in Dread, as the legendary Johnny Cage, has given fans more hope that this time things might be better. I agree, because having Karl Urban as Johnny Cage is probably going to be the best addition to the film because he was missing along with other characters in the first movie. So now that everybody is together, they're going to be in the second film. And not only that, they're going to have a tournament as well. You're going to have Shao Kahn, weapons that were not used in the first movie, even though they was showing Katana and the amulet in the first film. Now they're going to have everything put together in a sequel. So I feel like, to me, having all of that in the movie, it kind of gives you hope of what's gonna happen in the movie. We've also got to see the first look of Jade on screen, even though it's like a small glimpse, but you see Sonya, Liu Kang, Katana, or someone else on the camera thing when they were shooting the movie, and I believe it was in the Living Forest, if I'm not mistaken, because if you watch my past videos, I've been covering more images stuff all the time. Hiroki Sada returns to the sequel as the character of Scorpion, having initially been hesitant to confirm whether or not he would be taking part. However, a sneak peek from last month indicated that the legendary Japanese star would indeed reprise his role, alongside the likes of Shao Kahn, Princess Katana, Jade, Quan Chi, and King Jared. The addition of more beloved characters is another indication that the team behind the movie are keen to deliver more of what the fans would like to see this time around. And I tend to agree with that as well, because I feel like what was missing from the first movie is going to end up making a comeback in the sequel. And that really goes to show you that when it comes to Todd Garner, he knows and understands the fans very well. And I can't help but to respect that from him. You know what I'm saying? So King Jared, Katana, Jade, like I said, that were not in the first movie, including Quan Chi himself are all going to be in the sequel, and they're going to have a tournament, like I said in the beginning of the video. If this doesn't get you excited, I don't know what it is. Because a lot of people on YouTube were complaining about the film not having a tournament, even though it's specifically called Mortal Kombat, and I get that from the standpoint, but you have to look at the past aesthetics of it, because it didn't really have a it didn't really need to have a tournament in every incarnation of the film or video games. Some had beat 'em ups, some had terrible shoot 'em ups, some had bad beat 'em ups. Mine is Shaolin Monks, that was a good one. And there were some questionable fighting games as well. But at the same time, it didn't really have a tournament. But if you're making a sequel, you might as well just throw that sucker in it. And I'm glad that they're doing it. Now look, am I still excited for the sequel? Of course I am. But am I going to be optimistic about it? Slightly, a little bit, but not too much. But I highly doubt they're gonna probably show like a teaser or something like that down the road, because you know they're gonna be doing some reshoots and some edits, certain stuff out, as long as it's not during the fight scenes, because that's what really ruined Mortal Kombat, the first movie. According to Simon Bequid, Todd Garner said it himself that they're not gonna be doing no quick edits and jump cuts in certain fight scenes. And it really goes to show you that he listens and understands the fans. And plus, you got the writer from Moon Knight in this movie. If that doesn't make it a W, I don't know what is. This franchise has a bad rep because of, you know, of how bad the first movie did. But regardless of that, it's an exciting time to be a Mortal Kombat fan after all. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all. If you want the link to the article, it'll be down below.